Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig through corporate filings so you don't have to. Today we are looking at Toll Brothers' latest 8K filing, and trust me, this one has a little bit of everything. There's some corporate housekeeping, a vote that could shake things up for the board, and a peek into how shareholders are feeling about executive pay. It's not quite a soap opera, but there's definitely some drama to unpack. This report reveals the results of their annual stockholders meeting. The big news? A change in how directors can be removed, plus votes on who gets to sit on the board and how much the executives get paid. Let's dive in. First up, a major change to the company's rules. Stockholders voted to amend their corporate charter, and this is important. Previously, it took a supermajority, that's 66 2/3%, to remove a director. Now it only takes a simple majority. Think of it like this. Before, it was really hard to get rid of a director. You needed almost everyone to agree. Now it's much easier. This gives shareholders more power because it's easier to vote out someone they don't think is doing a good job. This change could make the board more accountable. Next, let's talk about the election of directors. This is where shareholders vote on who gets to sit on the board and make important decisions for the company. All the listed candidates were voted in, so no surprises there. Here's how the voting broke down. Douglas Yearley Jr. got about 76 million votes for, with about 2 million against. Stephen East got even more support with around 78 million votes for. Catherine Sandstrom got the lowest 4 votes out of all directors with about 72 million and about 6 million votes against her. It's important to note that there were also millions of broken non-votes for each director, which basically means some shareholders didn't cast a vote for these positions. Even though there was a vote against some of these candidates, all the proposed members were appointed into the board. The shareholders also voted on who would be the company's independent registered public accounting firm, basically the people who check their math and make sure the financial statements are accurate. The shareholders approved the reappointment, so it seems they're happy with the current auditors. There were 85.4 million votes for, 23 million votes against, and 101,936 abstains. Now for the part everyone loves to see, the say on pay vote. This is where shareholders get to give an advisory, non-binding opinion on how much the executives are getting paid. It's a chance for shareholders to say whether they think the company's top dogs are earning their keep. In this case, about 76.4 million shares voted in favour of the executive compensation plan, while almost 2 million shares voted against. Again, there were also over 9 million broker non-votes, meaning not everyone weighed in. While the majority approved the compensation, those nearly 2 million against votes are a sign that some shareholders think the executives are overpaid. Finally, let's go back to that big change we mentioned at the beginning, the amendment to the Certificate of Incorporation about removing directors. We already talked about the effect that the amendment had, but now let's talk about the vote. The results show that about 78.3 million shares voted for the change, while about 260,000 voted against it. So, what does this all mean? Toll Brothers just had its annual meeting and a few key things happened. First, they made it easier for shareholders to remove directors, giving more power to the owners of the company. They also re-elected all the current board members, although a few votes show that the shareholders are not completely happy with the choices. Finally, while most shareholders approved of the executive pay, a sizable chunk voted against it, indicating some unhappiness with the high compensation. But I think, well, it seems to me that Toll Brothers is doing some corporate housekeeping, making sure their rules are up to date and giving shareholders a bit more say in how the company is run. However, there are also some signs that not everyone is completely happy. The vote against the executive compensation is a signal that the company should think of its public perception. The change in how directors can be removed is the most interesting change, because it can lead to fundamental changes in the board. But overall, Toll Brothers seems to be in a pretty stable position. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate filings. See you next time.